forget it.
Purqueña Lauren Poole shares how her comedy comes from a genuine place.
Amber. Sí. Uy. Y I know, huh? A la verga. A la máquina. Can you see my drawing? I need my pillow. I think I need a crayon to do this good. I need like a sandwich or a hamburger or some milk. Are you gonna get down from the car or what? You're all mad or what? Are we going or no? I miss the beach. Like, do you remember the black hole? Wait, you have to pay to park here? What do you mean Marty Chavez ain't the mayor no more? He's like always the mayor. Do you want a Coke? 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 I'm gonna get like a Zia symbol right here with like green chilies crisscrossed.
Yes, Lauren Poole in the Colores studio. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm well. So as a comedian, and especially a comedian who works in culture, like in context, and the context is culture, how do you do that in a way that's also sensitive to kind of people's cultural identity?
This character came from a place of me growing up here. Like, I've never lived anywhere else. And we just wanted to make something that was funny and relevant to us. So I guess the way that I would feel is good and sensitive or whatever, the right way is creating something that you're genuinely inspired to create from an honest place. So when we did the video, it was just, a character that felt very real, and people, already really liked her. And sometimes with comedy, the best stuff is going to, make some people a little bit uncomfortable or make people realize, oh my gosh, like that's me. I wonder how that arrow landed up there. We landed up going to Brianna's house. Save the cans for Cliff's. Remember to pick me up some Blake's. Can we go to Sonic's for cereals? Ooh la la. That's like French for E.
There's other shows that are filmed here, there's other things that are filmed here, and it's not necessarily that we as a city or a state identify with those characters. We don't assume Walter White is representative of Albuquerque, but people assumed Lynette, like, is this kind of iconic figure. Like
when we first created the Lynette character, the very first video we made was a job interview situation where all of these candidates are coming in and interviewing for a job. The way we set up, we were like, okay, so everybody just come in with a character and you'll all get the same questions and you're just gonna improv through the interview and just give whatever answers you think your character would give. And so I thought it would be really cool to come in with like a Chola character who might look like maybe she's mean, or maybe she's like a little bit hard, or maybe she's like, kind of tough, and maybe kind of uneducated or something. These things that we assume about people that look like Lynette looks or dress like how she dresses. But then the Chola she just ended up being very honest and very real and the best person for the job, and she got the job. Right. So one of the things that I really love about Lynette and was conscious of is that she looks, like some people think that's how gangsters look, and it's like, no, not everybody wearing a hoodie, in the light of recent events,
right.
Especially. Sure, but not everybody who's wearing like a hoodie or baggy pants or a lot of makeup is uneducated or mean, Right. Lynette's silly.
Lynette has a huge heart.
And she's like cool.
Absolutely.
So
did you always know you wanted to be a comedian?
Yeah, only recently I've realized like, that's something that I can do pretty well and that I really love doing. I love when it rains. I think it stopped. My rims spin. I'm turning.
What experiences from your childhood really find their way into your comedy? Like, can you give us a couple of examples?
I guess, like Lynette is like mimicking the way that people talk around here sometimes. And so like, oof, forget it. Not even. The mountains look all cool with snow. Welcome to Monroe's Malpium. Hey, let's go to 7-Eleven. I can't get this button. Where's my yellow jacket? Miss, hang on. Miss, you forgot your bag. Thank you. You're welcome. Like, I guess when my mom, I started because I was good at mimicking when I was little. We were visiting family when I was like 5, and this woman, like a third cousin or something, was like talking to her husband, and she was like, "Billy Ray, you want some pie?" And when I was 5, I heard that and I just mimicked it. I was like, "Billy Ray, you want some pie?" And all the grown-ups like stopped and started laughing at me. And that was like the first time my brain went like, "Oh, I just did something funny," and the grown-ups liked it, you know?
Right. We talked a little bit before about your process for creating material, and you prefer to work in a collaborative process. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Some people I know, they can go and work by themselves and come back and be like, "Here, I have this one-woman show," or like, but I need to find my stuff through bouncing it off of people that I really love and trust. So it's just fun. It's just more fun that way, and you don't feel like you're working. Some of the most fun I've had is with Blackout when we've done like sketch comedy shows. As a team, we're like, okay, what are the things that people say? This, you know. And then we put on our Facebook to our friends and fans, "Hey guys, give us some of your best, you know, New Mexicanisms." And that's where "I'm Too Drunk to Walk, Let's Drive" came from. That was a friend of ours. "I'm too drunk to walk. Let's drive." And then some stuff, I just improvise.
Shut the light.
Shut the light. Thank you.
Tell me what Lynette was like as a child.
Lynette was a very precocious child. I feel like Lynette grew up around a lot of siblings and a lot of family, and in Albuquerque, and that she would maybe get into trouble sometimes for talking or for doing not necessarily mean things, but like, you know, like, "Let's climb this fence and throw mud at the wall," or like weird things. I feel like that was.
Because that's fun.
Yeah.
Right. And so what's in Lynette's future? What she want to do? What she want to be when she grows up?
Yeah, I feel like Lynette is really interested in criminology and sociology, and that Lynette's going to be a hotshot detective that solves crimes in unconventional ways.
She might have a reality show.
Yeah.
Is there a reality
No,
show
no,
when
no,
that's-
like a weird
like
CSI.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. Well, maybe next time we can get an interview with Lynette. She was busy. She didn't
She was
return our calls.
really busy with State
She
Fair
was
stuff.
State Fair stuff. So thank you for hanging out with us, Lauren.
Yeah.
Bueno, bye. Mira, look.
Nada, you?
This is all sick. You're all tall, huh? I know, and now, hang on, there's a cop. Hang on, he's still there. Anyways, yeah.